So in previous lecture, I told you how do you brute force using the burp suite, where we used a very unrealistic example by adding the password that we already knew. That's fine. It was just a proof of concept and a training purpose. So I'm just going to close all of these things. Now, when you close burp suite, you should basically go ahead and remove the proxy. So go to preferences, go to networking, settings, and remove the proxy. Use some proxy settings. That's fine. And now your browser will work normally. Now the thing is, this says search for usernames. Let's just do a blank search. Okay, it gives us usernames just by doing a blank search. Okay, so we know Iris is working as an employee. Sorry, it's ISIS, and we don't know the position of Rames. That's fine. I'm just gonna save it. Yeah, I'm gonna save this up in a new text file. Page2.txt. No, it's users.txt. So I'm gonna save this information here. Okay. Now, as this is giving us some information, let's go back. Let's say 1. Press enter. Okay, I think I didn't edit anything. So the application seems very vulnerable because it didn't give any like just by pressing enter. Okay, fetch data successfully, no results here on 1. Like just by adding a blank character, it is giving us some information. Okay, doesn't give anything. Let's say R, because it should give Rames here. Yeah, you know, R, it gives Rames. So we can try B here. It will not give anything. Yeah, we can try I here. It's giving this ISIS. So I think there are only 2 users because let's say on E, because E is a very common one. It only gives Rames, and I and A and O and U. So these are A, I, O, like A, E, I, O, U, the vowels. They are very common and are in name of everyone. So, okay, that's fine. Let's move here. You know, they are very common and are in the name of every single person. So we are only getting 2 results. That's fine. Now, because it is fetching data, it's probably fetching data from a database. So let's go ahead and do a vulnerability assessment on this page. You know, if we just go here, oh, okay, it says key. So we won't be able to pass this page until we so we won't be able to run a vulnerability scanner on this page because it is being blocked by this page. So we need to enter the key here and then only we can proceed. Okay, that's fine. In such a case, we will do some manual testing. So let's try XSS here. XSS, for that I'm going to share the cheat sheet. So let's say XSS. XSS cheat sheet. And XSS cheat sheet here by OWASP. So we are going to try, you know, 1 or 2 of them. So here is a big amount of cheat sheet which will contain a lot of payloads. Here there are some payloads. First let's try this thing. So let's try this one. Right? We're going to try this payload. Just add this payload, just press enter. Okay, it still says data fetched successfully. So it's basically taking the data to the SQL database basically, right? Let's try one more. Okay, so this is just a JavaScript, but still it is working and it is breaking the SQL. It's giving an error in SQL syntax. It means the database is on the SQL and it is not configured properly. let me do one thing. Let's try a quote. So single quote here. Just press enter. Okay, it works. I didn't expect that. Let's add double quotes. Now this will definitely break the database. Oh, okay, it even works. And okay, let's try something else. Let's add a pipe symbol. Okay, still works. Let's try some, because this is breaking the database. Why is it breaking the database? Okay, why is it breaking it? There are some unions here. That is why probably it is breaking the database. Let's try the SQL injection, SQLi cheat sheet. You might say that, hey, I don't know what is exactly XSS. What is the SQLi? Why are you showing me that how to use the cheat sheets? I want to understand what exactly it is. And don't worry, I will explain you XSS, CSRF, SQLi, and other kind of things. But we will be doing that in lab 2, not in lab 1. So for this lecture, we just are gonna use the cheat sheets instead of the labs. Here we have some commands for the SQL. Actually, it's not gonna work like that. Well, instead of manually testing for the SQL, well, there are a lot of payloads which we can try. But instead of manually testing for the SQL, now SQL is all about injecting bad characters and injecting commands in the database directly. Because this form is related to database, we are going to test SQL, and let's do that using a automated tool, that's Sqlmap. So why to do it manually when you can automate the thing? I'm gonna zoom in so that you guys can see it better. I'm gonna use Sqlmap here. Sqlmap -u. -u stands for the URL, and I will just copy this URL and I will paste it right here, and now it will automatically do SQL injection for me. Wait for it. It's gonna take some time, and it will. Okay, it says no parameter found for testing. It's the provided data get parameter. Oh, okay, that's fine, because most probably we gave it something wrong. Let's try that. Sqlmap-help, and the U is for URL, I'm sure. So where is that? Okay, doesn't yeah, here it is. U is for URL, so we are doing it correctly, but it is not gonna work. Like, it is not working because of the same issue which I said. Because the vulnerability scanners will not even work, because the page is not this one. It asks for the key. When you enter the right key, then it takes you to this page, right? In this case, we can do one thing. We can use the burp suite again. Now we have a very bad experience with burp suite at this point, but still we're going to use that. We're going to use burp suite again. And we will set the proxy here. So we will enable the proxy. So we will go to proxy and we will click on intercept this on, and now we will just add randomly anything here. Let's say we will add E here. That's gonna give us the range, or actually let's add A here. We just press enter and we have a request in Burp Suite. We are just going to copy this whole request and we're gonna forward that. We will say intercept off. We don't need Burp Suite now. So you know why we needed Burp Suite? Just for that request. So I'm gonna tell you why we need that request. Just a moment. Let's remove the proxy now. We are going to create a new file here. So req.txt. I'm gonna paste everything here. So this is the request. Now why we need this request? We need this request because there are some things like the get parameter, the host, the user agent, the accepting document. There can even be the cookies, which are very important for some SQL injection attacks. So the cookie is not here, but still we sometimes need that. Right, I'm just gonna save it. Let's close this. And now we will use Sqlmap again and we will try to exploit this. So I'm just gonna say clear. Now we will use Sqlmap. Instead of -u, we will use -r, which is for the file. And I'm gonna give it the home folder. Okay, request.txt. Let's fire this now. And now it will work. You see, it is working. Now it is asking me, it is asking me some questions, and you need to read the questions, and most probably you will answer all the questions as yes. It says, okay, the database seems to be MySQL. Do you want to test database? Do you want to test the payloads for other databases? Well, I would say no, I don't want to test for others if you are sure that it is MySQL. Okay. For the remaining test, do you want to include all tests for MySQL, including extended tests? Well, yes, include all tests. Now it's going to take some time. Now it is asking me the parameter USR to search is vulnerable. Do you want to keep testing others? Well, when you have found something is vulnerable, why do you want to test for others? Just leave it. Don't test. Okay, it says web server, operating system, and this and this. Seems like it is finished. It finished its attack. So it was able to penetrate the database using these attacks. That's fine, but how do we get benefit out of it? What is our benefit? The benefit is that once we know, okay, it is working, now we can do --dbs. So tell me the database which are there in this website. Now you see, there are these databases. Information schema and performance schema are very normal. They are just schemas. MySQL and PHPMyAdmin also seems very normal. However, SETH, this seems a little bit interesting. Let's use this database. Now, so --dbs falls for the database, but -d is to select a database. Okay, please make sure you are practicing all of these lectures, because if you are not doing so, you won't be able to understand and grasp any concept. Let's choose the database here, and now we will find the tables. So when you want to find something, you give the full name with --. When you want to select something, you give single dash and the first letter. So --, tables. Okay, here are the tables. Okay, there is one table only, which is users. Now let's select the users. -t, users. Okay, sorry, we didn't ask it to do anything. So now find it the columns for me. Okay, seems like there are the user ID and passwords. Okay, first of all, let's find the users. I mean, let's see the users. Basically, I want to see those users. Dash C users dash dash dump. So just dump the information from this column. Okay, users, it just gives blank and blank. I didn't expected this thing. Let's see the columns again. User, okay, it was user, not users. That's why it was blank. So make sure you don't make such kind of mistake. User. And we forgot to give it dump here. Yeah, now we have those users. So first is the ISIS, second is the RAMs, whatever the name is, you know. I'm gonna create a new file for this. I'm gonna minimize this. And actually we have that, is it? Yeah, so we have that. Still I will just say like this thing. So we found this from Sqlmap. Let's try the how many columns they have. We have the columns as pass. Let's try the pass here. So dash C pass. Okay. First one is not allowed. Wow, didn't expected this. So we cannot see the first password. That's fine. But we can see the second password. Now this is not a password, by the way. This is a hash. This is not a password, but it is a hash. I'm gonna copy this, and we were not able to find the password for this, but we have the hash for this user. I'm gonna save it. Now, you know, hash decoding is a different lecture in itself. We will do that in next lecture. For this, let's save the file first of all. So now we have a username and a hash, but we are going to convert it into a password. Let's even try one thing. We have dash dump here. You know, just dumping the whole table. Yeah, so again, it's the same thing. It's just giving me the password, ID, user, and position. This is the whole table, by the way. Yeah, so we only have the Ramses, and Ramses ID is 1 and password is this. So we need to crack this hash, and we're gonna do that maybe in the next lecture. Let's just do that in the next lecture.